Crank it up. It takes me a second too to get used to hearing myself on a microphone, so I like to kind of ease into the whole thing rather than just start. You know, you can kind of. I don't even know if there is a volume adjustment. I'll just try to do my best. Good? Better? Okay. Alright. If I drift out back like this, someone can give me a secret hand signal, I'll do my best. Wow. Look at all, I mean, thank you all so much for coming out here. To look and see all of you, it means the world to me. It really does. This is so moving, so touching to see all of you here. It really is. It really is. I made these notes, but I don't know if I'll follow them or not. You know, when I look out, a little louder. All right. How's that? Good? All right. We'll have a little while. I'll probably be 10 or 15 minutes, so I'll have enough time to get it right. I look out. I mean, the first thing I can think of is you're probably all in shock. I know I am. People probably drove here saying things like, how did this happen? She was so young. They were so in love. She was so sweet. She was so kind. How did this happen? They had such a young child. This is so tragic. How did things like this happen? If you're saying that to each other, driving in the car, kind of talking about it, or if you're saying it to yourselves, you have a glimpse into what we lived every day. We got the news a year ago. And that's what we asked each other every day. It's okay, Tomo. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Ran. It's okay. It's okay. We love you, Ran. It's okay. One of Wilson's little friends. Hey, Alissa and I asked each other that. We kept it together in public pretty well. And we put a brave face on for everybody. But every day, there was never any answers. I don't know if there ever will be any answers. Some of you might feel like, this happened, this went so fast. I heard the news she was diagnosed, I heard she was sick, and it felt like a blip later and she's gone. I just can't believe how quickly this all went. I'll say that if you feel that way, I feel totally the opposite. When I think back to the day she was diagnosed, it feels like 20 years ago. It feels like a whole different lifetime. I think back to the me before that day. It feels like somebody else. We forgot what it was like to live without worry and stress. The old carefree versions of ourselves just felt gone. I think back to these old pictures and it feels like somebody else's life. But I have good things to say too. It's not all doom and gloom. I have good things to say too. I made a few notes. When I was trying to make a list of all the great things we had done, I was pretty stunned by how many great things we actually accomplished in our short years. How young she was, how young I am. I was lucky to make a little money when I was younger, but even luckier, I could travel and work from the road. All I needed was my laptop and we could go. And she loved to travel, so we spent years just traveling. It was amazing. We had times where we'd book a plane ticket to Europe, and all we would book is the plane ticket and the first night's hotel and a rental car, and with no plan. And just get in the car and go. Land in Rome or Portugal or Paris and just hang out. We had to do it on a budget, and we didn't save a lot of money when we were doing it, but it was amazing. We went one time with no plan at all. We ended up staying 3 months. 3 months just driving around Europe. It was incredible. The opportunity to live like that is like everybody's dream. And it wasn't just once, we did it 4 or 5 times. And I was so blessed. We were so blessed to be able to have those opportunities. Alissa loved Las Vegas. Probably most of you know, even more than I love Las Vegas, which is saying a lot. And we'd go out there, and I've always been kind of the geeky mathematical type, so I was pretty good at poker. And we'd go out there, and I'd play poker, and we'd actually make money. We'd live like high rollers. We'd stay in these suites, and we'd go to these fancy dinners, and we'd come home months later with more money than we went out there with. We said, this is incredible. How are people able to do this? This is just a miracle. We were out there so long on vacations, we took vacations from the vacation. One time we were in Vegas with again, we never had a plan. We'd book a few rooms at a time. We saw a cheap deal to Hawaii, and we just got on a plane and went right from our vacation. It was just amazing to be able to live that freely, to have that kind of opportunity. She even had the dream of eventually living in Las Vegas, and we actually did that too. A couple of years ago, we sold our house in Edison, just put it up at a super high number and hope, and someone paid. We went, oh, I can't believe it. Someone paid. We were like, oh, I can't believe this. Now what? Now what? And we just packed our bags and went out there, and it was awesome. And our final dream was to have a child together. We even did that one too. Give me a second, I just have to kind of keep my emotions in check. That's why I had to kind of hide in a different room for a while. I wanted to be able to keep my composure. Alissa had so many different sides to her. Everybody here knows how sweet she was, how happy she was, how upbeat, how warm. But you know, she had sides she only showed me. She was so smart. We played these strategy games, and some of you guys know from the gaming group how good she was. And we played these strategy games at home, just the two of us, and she beat me all the time. And I'm really good at these things. I'm really good. So she was so smart. And she was just so insightful onto human nature and why people do what they do. She was just so fascinating to talk to. We spent, the basis of our whole marriage was really honestly just talking. We would talk every day for hours and hours and hours. We took a car trip one time to Florida. I think when we got to the border, we drove from New Jersey to Florida, straight through. We got to the border of Florida, she reached us for the radio. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? I'm still talking here. We're talking, you know? But it was back and forth conversation that was just so fascinating. She was such an interesting person to talk to. But she didn't really share that side of herself with friends as much. Mostly it was only me. But it was really something special about her I wish more people had seen. You know, just have to take a second again and breathe so I don't lose my emotions. When you go through difficult times, terrible times, I try to remind myself of a saying that actually means a lot to me. I know there's all kinds of sayings people know, like live for the day and enjoy the moment, but this one really kind of spoke to me. It's that the passing of time is the saddest thing and the most beautiful thing. It's both. Watching ourselves age, losing loved ones, it's tragic, it's terrible, it's awful. But the fact that time is scarce, time is short, time is limited is what makes life so magical. When things are gone, they're gone, and it's awful. But it's what gives life that beautiful, sweet, sad quality all at the same time. The only answer I've found is just appreciation. Appreciation to the years we have, the times we have, the special moments. That's what I'm trying to draw from all of this. All right. Just give me a second. I think there's words that I've wanted to say as a goodbye to Alissa myself that I found too hard to do. And with all of your support here, I'm going to try to do it now. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to try. They say the purpose of any kind of funeral or memorial is closure. Closure for the loved ones that are still here and grieving. And maybe with all your support I can manage to get through this. Alissa, I don't even know where to look. Should I look at the sky? Beautiful flowers everyone sent. Should I look at all of you? Alissa, my wife, my best friend, my travel companion, my little gambling buddy, my little pumpkin. I am so sorry that this happened. Never in a million trillion years did I ever think I would be speaking at your funeral with you 38 years old. All I can say is, thank you so much for 21 amazing years. We met as kids, and we were together till we were middle-aged, and it's been a heck of a ride. And thank you so much for Wilson, our son. And Alissa, you will live on forever through him and his children. That's how we all live on forever. And I never thought I would say this, but Alissa, my little pumpkin, goodbye. Rest in peace. And thank you all so much for coming today. Maybe a little clap so it's not too weird.